welcome to Ellen Ruth's Soap. I'm Ellen, and today we're not making soap. We're doing something really simple, easy, and fun. We're going to make some bath salts. One of the reasons why I want to do this project is I love bath salts, but my master bathroom in the house that we're currently in has been a slow renovation over the last 10 years. It's taken forever, and I'm finally getting a tub in my bathroom. I've been a shower girl up there. If I wanted a bath, I had to go all the way upstairs to the children's bathroom, and anyway, I'm getting a tub, and so it was the perfect time to make bath salts. So we've got all kinds of really fun ingredients that are going to go in this today, and we'll talk about botanicals and little bits in your bath salts if you want to put them in there or don't. And if you do put them in there, you might want to provide a little tea bag for people. So I found when I was doing farmers markets and selling bath salts there and talking to the customers face to face, that there was either a love-hate relationship with floaty things in their tubs. Some people felt very luxurious and they loved having rose petals or lavender buds or anything floating in the water. They just felt very, pampered with that. Other people, it bugged them. They didn't like bits and stuff, and then you have to deal with draining. You have to put a screen over your drain when you drain the water, and it was like a hassle for some people. So when I do put botanicals in my bath salts, I always provide a little muslin tea bag to go with it, so you can make like a bath tea and not have the floaty business. The salt will dissolve out of the bag and still get in your bath, and then all you're left with in the little bag when it's all said and done is your botanicals. But we'll talk about more. We'll talk about that more when we get there. But right now I have to get my surface area really cleaned. Again, with Bath & Body products, cleanliness is a must. So I'm going to get everything prepped and ready to go, and we'll come back and just make some very simple and fun bath salts. Okay, I've got all of my salts spread out here on the table, and I'm going to show you a couple of options, and we're ready to get rolling and measuring. But first, let's talk salt. There are so many options and so many places to get them. A lot of these that I'm going to show you today I got on Amazon. If I didn't get them on Amazon, I will tell you where I got them. So this big bag of very coarse Himalayan pink salt, and it's got very different colorations in there. It's a nice big rock salt. This is gorgeous. It looks beautiful in a bath salt. I do this for visual. I think Himalayan salt is wonderful also, but the visual is great. So that's the big one. I have some medium size ones. I use these on top of my soaps sometimes. They come in different sizes, so from coarse, medium, down to fine. This was from Amazon. This was from, I think, Marshall's. You know how they have their spices in the area? I think I grabbed this there because I thought the bottle was so pretty. And this is my fine grind Himalayan salt, which is wonderful. I keep this up in my kitchen. This is what I salt my food with, but it's wonderful in bath salts also. And this is from the Dollar Tree. I had to order a case of 12. It's $1.25 a pound, which is the best price I have found on this really good salt. But you had to order a case, and then they ship it right to the store, so there was no shipping. I just went and picked it up when it came in. They sent me email. Easy peasy. Love it. So we use this in our kitchen and in the soap room. So we would be using the fine salt. I also got this at Sam's Club. It's the same. It's a fine grind, and I found this in the back of my shelves, and so I'm going to probably use this up first before I open a fresh bag. Same thing, fine grind, pink Himalayan salt, all the good stuff. And what else do I have here? Epsom Salt. I got this particular bag at Walmart. You can get Epsom Salt on Amazon and pretty much any drugstore. It's readily available, very inexpensive, and so wonderful in a bath salt. So that's going to be part of it. I got some Dead Sea salt. I'm not going to use this today. I decided to go with my regular sea salt, but Dead Sea Minerals is wonderful in a bath salt. You don't want to soap with this. This is not great in soap. You can use sea salt when you make soap, but there are some chemical properties in there. It doesn't soap well. So this is designated for bath salts and things, but I'm not going to be using this today. I just wanted to show you that there's so many salt options. I got this one on Amazon. What else do I have on my table here? Okay, so this is just more medium grind pink Himalayan salt. I have a lot of pink Himalayan salt. I just love the color so much. Okay, so here, let's talk about black salt. Two different things. This is Himalayan black salt, and it is mined this color. It's almost a purple color. This is black sea salt, and it's really pretty. But when you see that, that's activated charcoal. It's just regular sea salt that they wetted and put activated charcoal on it, let it dry, and now you have black salt, and it's so pretty. I may be using some of this today just for the pop. I think this color with the pink might look really pretty, just a little. Or these, I haven't decided yet. So those are different color options. You can also color your own. If you get regular, I wouldn't color the pink salt because it's so pretty, but if you get regular like rock salt and you wet it down with rubbing alcohol, put a mica on there, roll it around, lay it out to dry, you now have colored salt, and it's so pretty. So let's see, I think I got, those are all my salt options. Goodness sakes. All right, now let me clear out some room here. Let's pull the scale over and get to the first step of making this bath salt that we're making today. And the first thing I need to do is measure out my dendritic salt. Dendritic salt is a very fine grind salt, and it is perfect for anchoring your fragrance oil and your polysorbate 80. Because it's such a fine grind, it has multiple surface areas and it can hold more of the fragrance on it. And it absorbs really quickly and it dissolves in your bath really quickly. So it's perfect carrier salt for fragrance. So that is the first thing we're going to measure out today for our recipe. All right, let's get my scale, tear it out, and I need 1 ounce of dendritic salt. I am making a 21 ounce batch right now, so you can scale this up or down any way you want, but 1 ounce of dendritic salt is going in here. One of the nice things about bath salts is you really can't mess this up. You really can't, as long as you don't over fragrance it. Or essential oil it. That's the only part that you really want to be careful with. But as far as your salt measurements and how much of each one, it is totally personal preference. And I love that. You can really customize. So there's my dendritic salt. And to that, I'm going to add my fragrance and my polysorbate 80. Okay, here's my poly 80. I get this from Wholesale Supplies Plus is where I got it this time. I've gotten it from several different distributors, but they had a sale going on. So that's where I got it. I'm going to add 1/2 ounce or 14 grams of poly 80 onto my salt. And I'm going to use my pipette because, you know, that's a very tiny measurement and I don't want to overdo it. Right, and next I'm going to use my Energy fragrance from Be Scented, and this is so nice. It's very bright. It does definitely have an energy vibe to it. So I need 0.5 ounces, 1/2 ounce of fragrance for a 21 ounce batch. Let's tear out my scale. All right, and now I just need to stir this all together and let it sit and absorb into that salt. All right, we are back and it's time to add the bulk salts in this bowl. And the first ingredient is going to be 5 ounces of large pink salt. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use this bag here. I got this at a local Mennonite store that I have near me. It's so fun to shop there, and they sell things in bulk, so that's where I got this one. And again, this big one here was from Amazon. I will leave a link down below. So 5 ounces of large pink salt, just because it's so beautiful. And again, if you go a little over or under, or you do different salt, it is all good. I love this recipe. It's very not scientific, super easy going. So, oh, I also wanted to show you, I got this at Sam's Club. This is another large pink salt. They're a little bit different color. This one's a little darker, so pink salts come in a various of shades. They're so pretty. All right, the next one is my fine pink salt. Let me get that. I think I'll go ahead and use up what I have left in here. Not my Dollar Tree. This is my Dollar Tree one, but I'm going to use up my Sam's Club one because it's already open. So I need 5 ounces of fine salt. And the next salt that I'm going to put in here is 5 ounces of Epsom salt. And again, I got this from Walmart, but it is readily available on Amazon, Walgreens, CVS, whatever you've got near you. You can find it super easy. So 5 ounces. A little clumpy. There we go. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to add 5 ounces of just plain old sea salt. And there's nothing plain or old about it. Sea salt has a lot of really lovely minerals. It's all the salts do. They're so wonderful. Okay, so now I'm just going to squish this, give this a little zhuzh and see how I like the color and see if I want to add something else in there. That looks really gorgeous to me. I was going to add a little of this black salt, but I don't want to take away from the beautiful pink color. I think I'm going to save this for another time. And again, let's see. Here's this black Himalayan salt. I got this on Amazon. It is kind of purple. Maybe I'll just put a little bit. Let's tear this out. Maybe I'll put like 1 ounce of this in because I can't resist. There we go. Because that is so pretty. Look at that. It just kind of pops the color, doesn't it? All right, so now let me get my scale out of the way. We have our wet ingredients here. Let me stir that up again. It kind of settled in there. And so this is going to be a little bit wet today, and I'm going to put it on a sheet and let it dry for several days. Also, you could put it on a cookie sheet and put it in a warm oven. If you have a warm setting on your oven, which is like 170 or below, you could do that and stir it every 15 or 20 minutes until it's dry. But this will definitely need to dry out before we package it. So let's add our poly fragrance and the dendritic salt here. So the fragrance for this volume of soap, or sorry, not soap, good heavens, not making soap. The volume for this amount of salts is just a little more than 2%. You can go 1 to 3%. And so I did a 1/2 ounce for a 21 ounce batch. And this is actually a 22 ounce batch because I threw in that black salt also. So let me get this stirred up here a little bit, and then I'm going to throw my hands in here. And that is the same rate that I did the poly at. So if you're looking at percentages, if you scale this up or down, do your fragrance and your poly at a 1 to 3% rate, and you will be in the window for most fragrances. Again, double check the fragrance that you're choosing to use. It might be a little different, but oftentimes if you stick around 1 to 2%, you're going to be in a safe zone. But again, when you're making your own products, it's always good to double check numbers for yourself, just so that you take ownership of that product that you're making and have confidence in the amounts that you're using. This looks gorgeous. I love this. So let me get my tray over here, my studio tray. It's all cleaned off, even though it has a little haziness to it. This is from IKEA, and I got it years and years ago. I don't even know if they still sell these. Love this thing. It's just, I have a couple of these and they live down in my studio for multiple purposes. So now I'm just going to spread this out real thin, and I am going to let this sit down here. My soap studio is very dry. I have a big dehumidifier down here by my curing rack, and so this is the perfect place to just leave it and walk away. And before I do that, I want to talk about Botanicals really quick here. So after, I'll say 3 days. I'm probably going to leave this for 3 days. After it's dried, that's when you add your Botanicals. And I have so many different options. You can add rose buds. Look at those gorgeous rose buds. You could add lavender buds. So pretty. I have hibiscus flowers. I got this from Wholesale Supplies Plus. The rose buds and the lavender buds are from Amazon. These are beautiful. They have a natural fragrance to them. Soma sundries, I got these gorgeous orange slices. You could break them into quarters and put like a slice in each one. This has a citrusy fragrance, so a little bit of citrus on top would really go along with it. I have cornflower. Aren't those beautiful? I got these on Amazon. Look at that bright color. I got a spring flower blend. This has a whole bunch of different flower petals in there. That looks gorgeous in here too. So many options. Jasmine buds. Oh my word. Kind of going to town here, aren't I? So pretty. So you can really take this a million different directions depending on the fragrance or the essential oils you've used. But again, let's let this dry for a couple days, and then you would add your botanicals, and then we will come back and talk about packaging, wrapping, labeling, all of that good stuff. But I've got to let this sit for a while. So we'll see you in a few days. All right, we are back, and it has been several days, 3 days to be specific. And let me tell you what I did. After 2 days, this was still a little bit shiny and not fully dry. So I went upstairs and I put this on a clean cookie sheet. I put it in the oven for 170 degrees, set the timer for 15 minutes, and I'd come in and stir it, then put it back in until it was completely dry and didn't leave any residue on my hands. And that way I know it's going to be dry when I package it and it won't clump up and solidify. The reason for drying it is just so you won't have like a bath bomb. I want this to be a salt that you can sprinkle into your tub easily. So that's what we've got now. Oh man, it smells really delightful also. So here it is in all its gloriousness without any botanicals. And let me talk about the wrapping options. I'm going to do 2 different styles today, one with botanicals mixed in and one without, that I will just put one of those dried citrus slices in there to kind of give it the, you know, the theme or the look, if you will. But the citrus slice is really easy to pull out, like the botanicals sprinkled are different. So let's talk about the first option, and that is this little tube, and it is specifically made for bath salts. Okay, these tubes here are plastic. They're reusable. If you're a recycler, which I highly recommend, you can use these over and over again, so no worries about that. But they hold between 4 and 5 ounces of bath salts, depending on how heavy the salts are. If you have a lot of clays or milk powders and things that are light, it would be 4 ounces. If you have a lot of heavy salts, it's probably going to be closer to 5 ounces. And I got these from Wholesale Supplies Plus. You have to get the lids separate, I think. It's been a long time since I ordered these. I got them in bulk, but I will try and find the information for these and leave a link down below. So that's one option. And in this option, I'm going to be splitting these salts in half, and I will do the botanicals in here because it's so showy. You can just see everything in this nice clear container, and it's very easy to label this. So we'll get to the labeling and all that. So there's one wrapping option. And then the next one that I'm going to do my citrus slice in are these heat sealing Ziploc bags. I get the craft ones. These come in all different kinds of colors, whites, metallics, you know, big windows, little windows, so many options on these bags. And I believe I got these from Wholesale Supplies Plus also. They were having a sale. It's been a while, but I will try to find a link, leave it down below. I know you can get these on Amazon also, and they have a little gummy not gummy, that's the wrong way to put it, kind of like a stamp. It's dry when you touch it, but it's heat sealable. There's a little resin in here, and so if you put this in your heat sealer, I'll show you that, it seals up really beautiful, sanitized, so you know when you sell your product and the person gets it, it has little tabs to rip open, and they know they're the first one to open this product, so it's very hygienic, and I really like that. But it only has this one little window, so this is the one that I'm going to put the citrus slice down in here because it's not as showy. So this is very showy. This is not as showy, but you can fit a good amount in here. Again, I think these are about 6 ounces full. We are going to measure these out and weigh them. They have a little bottom on them here. So we'll get to all that. Right now, I'm going to split this in half, and we'll get to adding botanicals to the showy half. So I just have a clean container here, and I'm just going to eyeball this. I am not going to be real specific. If you wanted to weigh this all on the scale, you could definitely do that. But to me, yeah, that looks about half. So I'm going to put half of this in here, and then we will get to adding our botanicals on the other half. Well, I have it out on the tray. It'll be easier to mix it. All right, we are back with our half of the mix that we're going to add botanicals to. And so let me come over here and start grabbing what I've got. Let me show you these up close. These jasmine buds I got from Amazon, and they are just so beautiful. It's literally the flowers. Look how pretty those are. They're so beautiful, and they smell very lightly floral. This is not a floral scent, this energy. It's more citrus, but they're so pretty. I'm going to add a couple of jasmine buds in here because they're so pretty, and we're just going all out here. So why not? So just a little sprinkle of those. Let's do some hibiscus flower. That sounds beautiful to me. And these have an almost tea-like scent. They're very dark, but lovely. They're so pretty. So those are in there, and what else do I have? Oh, I've got this spring flower blend. If we're just going all out, let's just do botanicals, and this will be like a blossoming salt bath is what it'll be, which, you know, how gorgeous. Just a sprinkle, and again, it doesn't take much. There we go. Oh my word, so pretty. And then I think after I get it jarred up, we'll go ahead and put like a little rosebud right on top just because it's so pretty. So in here, all we have to do now is mix it because this is all dry. It's not going to wet the botanicals and make them get weird or discolored or anything, which I love. So they will retain that gorgeous, vibrant color. And after we get it jarred up, when I sell salts like this, I always give with it a little cotton muslin bag. Oh, there's two. Okay, there we go. And what you can do is when you get your jar, if you don't like floaty things in your tub, just take your jar, fill this bag up, and throw that in your tub. All of the salt and the wonderful botanical goodness will come through the cotton into your bath water, and all the floaties and herbs and botanicals will just stay in the bag, and the salt will absorb out. This bag will be relatively flat when you get done with your bath because the salt will absorb out, but all the little bits will stay in here. It's like a tea bag or a tea bath is what that is. So anytime I put botanicals in, I always give a bag to go with it because you never know people's preference and all that. So with that being said, bring my scale over here, and what I'm going to do is fill up my tube. Let me tear my scale out with an empty tube here. Okay, and then after I get this filled up, I can go make my labels, but I need to know how much it weighs first exactly. So let's go ahead and just fill this up. Not very specific, pretty basic here, but I want it filled almost all the way to the top. So that top will be very tight on there. All right, we've got it filled almost all the way up, and look how beautiful that is, just because it's so pretty. Let me see. I'm just going to add a little bit more. I really want these full. And now I'm just going to put a couple of rosebuds on the top so that when you open your jar, you're going to see that. It just kind of goes with the botanical theme. It's so beautiful. All right, now let me get that on the scale. So this is just over 5 ounces. I'm going to call it 5 ounces. It's 5.15, but we'll call it 5 ounces. Now we need to get the lid on. There we go. And set that off to the side. Isn't that beautiful? We'll get to labeling after I get these all filled. So I probably have enough to do one more. Let's see what we've got. All right, and let's move on to our non-botanical salts here that we measured out. And the first thing I need to do is tear out my scale with that on. And now we got to fill it up and see how far we get, and then we will add a little quarter slice of our citrus there just for beautiful looks and thematic element, and that'll be easy to pull out. So I won't even bother giving a tea bag with this because, you can float your orange slice in your tub really easily and it's not going to cause an issue. Let's see if I can get this to stand up. So it has that little bottom there. Kind of open it up, and there we go. Let me just start filling this and give it a little weight in it so I can get it to stand up easier. There we go. There we go. That is 6 ounces in that bag, and look how pretty that looks. It's so pretty. And now, tear that out. Let's get our orange slice here. I've got a half slice. Let's go ahead and add the whole thing because, you know, why not? And it's so good. And these do have a little bit of orange essence sent to them. So what I want to do is try to slide it down in here so that part of it will be seen in the window. There we go. Look at that. You can see a little bit of the orange slice. You can see the salts. I think that looks beautiful. So now what you do with these bags is I start the zip, and then I'm going to squeeze out any air. I want this to be as tightly packed as I can. Finish zipping it, and now I'm going to go get my heat press, and I'll show you how to seal the top of that. And it still leaves room for a label here or down here or on the back, wherever you choose to label this. So first, let's get this heat sealed, then we'll get our labels printed, because now I know that this is 6 ounces, this is 5 ounces. You want to make the correct weight on your labels. All right, so we're back. This is my impulse sealer. That's an 8-inch impulse sealer from Amazon. I'll try to leave a link down below. This has just been a workhorse. I use this when I do shrink wrap on my soaps. It's just fabulous. I think if you didn't have an impulse sealer, but you had a hair flat iron, would probably work okay. If you did it on here, you need just a nice heat source on here. So I like to, you see the notches on here? I like to heat seal right along where the notch is. If I can line it up, and you just hold it down. And I don't know if you can see that little line on there, but it is sealed. Let me try to open. I can't open it. See, it made a heat seal up there, so it's nice and sealed up, and then you can just rip the top open, and then it's got a zip on there, because I probably wouldn't put this entire bag in my bath. I'd probably use half or a third of it, so you can reseal it and use it again. So there is how I heat seal these, and now let's get on to labels. All right, we're back. I use craft labels from onlinelabels.com. I'll leave a link for the size I'm using. They're about 1.5 by almost 3 inches rectangle. And I made 2 different labels. So one is Energy Botanicals, 5 ounce, to go on these little bad boys. And then the other one is Energy Citrus, and I wrote 6 ounces, even though they have the same ingredients except for the orange slice and the botanicals. So let's do this one first. I just think these are so cute. So I go back and forth. Do I want the label on the front? Do I want it on the back? I'm not sure. Let's see. I think because of the size of it being a long rectangle, I'm going to put it on the back of this bag. And so obviously, if you already know your weight of your bag, it would be easier to label before you fill it up, but that's okay. We're just going to deal. It's all right. We're going to put the center down, get it all on here. There we go. So there it is on the back, Energy Citrus, and you have the ingredients listed from greatest to least on the label, the weight of the product, what it is, all the information, and there it is. I love these. I love the little sealing bags. I just think they're so handy, and they ship really well because there's nothing breakable. They're just super, I just think they're really user-friendly. So there is, and my citrus slice got totally buried in the salt. As I'm moving it around, the citrus slice is now disappeared in there, but it's in there, and it will just add to the essence of the whole fragrance to this. I love it. So let's move on to our beautiful tubes here, which I think are so fun, and you can just get a peek of the little the little rosebuds at the top, which I love. Let me get my little pro tip, how to hold a round container steady out. There we go. That way it won't roll away on me, which, you know, we don't want that. And this is Energy and Botanicals, and it's 5 ounces. So I'm using the same exact label, just made sure it was proper for this container, and I'm going to just try to line it up nice and steady here, get the center down, and there we go. I think these are fabulous. And of course, these with the botanicals in there will come with my little tea bag to go with it. And you could even, if you wanted, leave a little space in here, and let's see if it'll fit, and fold your tea bag up and put it right in on the top. So let's fold this down. Now I don't have my gloves on and I'm opening this up, but these are for friends and family anyway. Let's see if it'll fit in here. Oh, look at that. So I'm going to scoop my little rosebud over so I don't crush it. And there you go. The tea bag is right in on top. That's perfect. Wish I would have thought of that before. There. Look at that. Perfect. So the tea bag's already in there, and these also, they're plastic, they're not glass, they don't break in shipping, they ship really well. Now you can see the rosebuds. I love it. And I would, for the 5-ounce one, I'd probably use half in a big bathtub full. But anyway, there it is. I hope you enjoyed today's video. This was fun to make. And we'll be making more bath salts. We'll do milk bath salts, and you can add all kinds of fun ingredients. So this isn't the end of the bath salt journey. This is just the springboard, but you can get so creative with this. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.